This is Ralph Swain reporting from the USO 3 blocks west of the Capitol in Washington, D.C. This morning, the Fort Collins and Greeley delegation of Vietnam Veterans Against the War met with Representative Wayne Aspinall to ask him to vote for total U.S. military withdrawal in Indochina by the end of the year. A scheduled half-hour conference was cut to 15 minutes because Mr. Aspinall had to attend a committee meeting. The delegation felt that 15 minutes was insufficient time for 18 individuals who traveled 2,000 miles to express their feelings fully. Robert Modisette, a spokesman for the delegation, felt that Aspinall was unreceptive. Letters from Fort Collins residents and a telegram supporting the Vietnam veterans from many influential people in Colorado were presented to Aspinall. Mr. Aspinall gave the impression that one of the objectives of state representatives were to lead the people in the constituency as to what he feels is the proper course. He also told the delegation he would not vote to support the House resolution to end the war by December 31st of this year. An interesting development during the veterans' activities in Washington has been the fact that in 3 days, the appeal by the veterans to sleep on the Mall during the night was denied up to the Supreme Court. This occurred when the Supreme Court upheld a U.S. District Court ruling to ban the veterans from camping overnight. The veterans have slept on the Mall since Monday. Interesting enough, the ruling by the Supreme Court was not by the entire court, but by one man, that was Chief Justice Warren Burger, at the request of the Justice Department. If former Attorney General Ramsey Clark cannot get a favorable ruling for the veterans will have to leave the Mall by 4:30 this afternoon. The Vietnam veterans representing every state in the Union and every branch of service have agreed to remain on the Mall nonviolently until evicted. If the authorities choose to physically evict the veterans, whether violently or not, the administration stands to lose in this action. The international press and responsible citizens have been observing the peaceful and democratic activities of the veterans, and the repercussions of such action by the administration could be politically disastrous. This morning at 8:30, Senator Ted Kennedy came down to the Mall and spoke with the Vietnam veterans. Kennedy told the vets that they had served their country well and were serving it even better by being here in Washington. The Colorado delegation performed a mock search and destroy mission at the Washington Monument and at George Washington University this afternoon. Under the lens of TV cameras, the veterans conducted interrogation and torture of actors dressed in peasant clothing and splattered with artificial blood. This morning, Vietnam veterans attended the session of Senator Kennedy's Committee on Vietnamese Refugees, and several testified to inhumane treatment of Vietnamese citizens. At 4:30 p.m. this afternoon, the court injunction barring the Vietnam veterans from camping on the Mall will take effect. If the veterans are found sleeping, erecting tents, or building fires, the police have been directed to take legal action, which, in effect, would constitute a mass arrest. If this occurs, my next news report may very well be coming to you from the federal courthouse jail 1 block north of the Mall. This is Ralph Swain reporting from Washington, D.C. for KCSU-FM News.